Welcome to Mind of the Transitions. I'm Rosalind Price, your grief coach and transition strategist and lifelong grief navigator. Let's keep sitting with the first two core pillars, awareness and compassionate tools. My mother and father died 36 and 29 years ago, and sometimes I'm sitting and all of a sudden I burst out crying. I remember years ago, shortly after my mother died, just a few years, I was sitting in church and a song was being dedicated to her, and suddenly I was flooded with tears and I just allowed the crying to outpour. A friend at the time escorted me out and I just wanted someone familiar, so I asked for my sister, who came and held me until I was done crying. I needed that cry, that release. And I called in the nurture I needed. And grief, by way of that song dedication, gave me the space to do so. I remember weeks after that, someone said to me that the song should not have been sung because I couldn't handle it. Or they avoided calling my mother's name in future dedications because they didn't think I could handle it. I was immediately offended because I thought and voiced, who are you to determine what I can and can't handle and where I am in my journey? Because I cried openly at the loss and memories of my mother. Not to mention the person wasn't a clinician or a certified professional, nor did they know my story intimately or ask any questions of curiosity or care. You see, sometimes people will process and project their discomfort with grief by wanting you to get over things quickly, wanting you to express your emotions in a different way, not loudly or openly. And it wasn't until years later that I developed a language for what I was experiencing and came to realize that our society is uncomfortable and ill-equipped when it comes to grief and supporting others, even those in religious and spiritual settings. People I partner with and coach who share the similar experiences, they will ask me, Rosalind, this sudden feeling of emotion, is that normal? And I've healed and I've processed things and it's been some time. I've moved forward. Why is this still happening? It's grief outburst and it's healthy and normal. It means that the love and longing you have for that person still runs deep. That presence and that memory is still with you. The longing for that thing or the presence of that thing is still alive in you, or that transition or loss signifies that something major played a major role in your life. You are alive, and just because you're restored and you're thriving, or it's been some years, doesn't mean the feelings go away. It doesn't mean you haven't processed them. It means there will always be something, an event, a space, a smell that triggers an emotion in you as long as you're living. Our role is to acknowledge it and not rush through it or try to shut it down. Observe it and be curious. And sometimes not even look for an explanation. The thing we want to be able to do is make sure grief outbursts are indeed that. They are usually short in nature, signaling a pause, followed by a calmness or signal to care and give space and honor, giving grace and attention to yourself in the journey. Now, the opposite of that is the ongoing deregulation of emotions, outbursts that become difficult to manage. The emotions dictate your behavior. There's a shutdown or an ongoing emotional roller coaster or uncontrollable emotions. Behavior that doesn't support you toward your path ahead. That could be in becoming stagnant, not being able to process and move through the process of grieving, being avoidant or reactive, constantly ruminating, not able to function when the flood of emotions are experienced. Now that signifies there's something deeper that needs resolving and support, professional and trained support. The important thing to remember is that you are the master of your journey. There's nothing you need to get over, and there's certainly no time limit, and there's certainly nothing wrong if the love, memories, and longing trigger an emotional reaction. Allowing yourself to be open and honest with what grief is showing you in that moment means you're doing it right. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. As always, this is a space where we define and design your journey forward on your terms, and you don't have to do it alone. I'm here with you.